In 2001, I remember reading an article in the Nintendo Power magazine talking about a short 5 seconds clip that was revealed to be a new Mario Kart game on GameCube. I was super excited, having played Mario Kart 64 to death, and had really high hopes for the sequel. But how do you improve a game like Mario Kart? Well, you double the fun by doubling the amount of characters on screen. That's right, 2 characters per kart. That's the main gimmick in Mario Kart Double Dash. Not only does it look super cool, it now allows you to hold 2 items at once, making the experience a little bit more strategic. You can now switch your drivers and item holders at any time, and you can even play with a friend on the same kart, which is pretty neat. The tracks this game added were pretty cool too, and today we'll check out my favorites. Hey, I'm Nico, and here's my top 10 Mario Kart Double Dash tracks. Here we go. One of my favorite tracks in Mario Kart 64 was Toad's Turnpike, because it allowed you to drive on a highway full of cars that you had to avoid. Well, Mushroom City is some sort of sequel, as you now drive in a city instead of a highway. This means there's tons of different paths to choose from and even more vehicles to avoid, especially the big green Wiggler bus that cannot be destroyed. You'll be exploring the downtown area of this city, discovering secret shortcuts, and you can even enter some buildings. Although it's pretty useless and only wastes time, but still, that's the kind of thing that made me super invested in a game back then. Mushroom City is not just another racetrack, it is a city you can actually live in. Maybe not the city with the best safety regulation though. I mean, who puts a big hole like this without anything to protect people from falling down it? That is a safety hazard, Mario. Do something about that. What do Mario and his friends do on vacation? Well, they have go-kart races around a big cruise ship apparently. Daisy Cruiser is a really original track where you actually drive on a huge cruise ship featuring many cool attractions, such as this amazing swimming pool or this huge epic ballroom. You can even visit the machine room and see how this ship is all powered up. You do access this room by falling down an unprotected pit over there. Seriously, the Mushroom Kingdom is really bad at making its attractions safe. Jokes aside though, this track is really cool, featuring many sharp turns and giving you a full tour of the cruise ship. The ballroom part was always my favorite spot, as you can see the item boxes and the tables moving left and right because of the ship's movements. There's also multiple paths you can choose from, going around the pit and driving on the boat's bridge, or falling down in the machine room and getting shot out of the big orange cannon, which makes this track even more interesting. This next track is yet another track featuring traffic and cars you have to avoid. I'm starting to see a pattern with what types of track I like the most. Mushroom Bridge is up, and this track is pretty simple, but so fun to me. Basically, you go through a tunnel only to make a sharp turn to get back into another tunnel. And once you leave that second one, you'll come face to face with a big bridge that you have to cross. Of course, you can cross it the normal way if you're a noob, but if you're a true epic gamer, you'll definitely go for the sides of the bridge, as they feature many speed boost panels. I remember falling down a lot of times as a kid, trying to go for that shortcut, but once you actually get good and stop falling down, it becomes an addiction. I guess that's the main reason why I like Mushroom Bridge so much, because let's face it, beside that epic bridge, there's not much to this track. Well, I guess there's traffic, and I like tracks with traffic, so Going back to a more traditional racetrack, Yoshi Circuit is up, and this is a really good one, featuring sharp and narrow turns, and allowing us to use mushrooms to skip parts of the track. This tunnel over there is a great place to throw banana peels and green shells, and if you're insane, well, you can even go for that crazy shortcut where you go above the water and into this secret tunnel. I fell down so many times trying to go for the shortcut that it's now a hard pass for me, but if you're brave, then you should definitely go for it. By the way, Have you ever noticed that if we take a look at this track from above and zoom out, well, it is shaped exactly like a Yoshi? That's pretty crazy, I think. Oh, and we can even see Daisy's cruiser by taking a look over there, so you know, that's kinda neat. It wouldn't be a Mario Kart game without a proper Bowser's Castle track, am I right?
You are right, lad.
And Double Dash has one of the coolest looking Bowser Castle in the series. Of course, Bowser had to make this entrance to his castle shaped like his head to make it more spooky, but once you're inside, you'll have to watch out for the many evil Thwompies on the way. These dudes can crush you in an instant. The next room is filled with lava and will force you to drift your way around this part while moving up, only to be welcomed by a big room with hot, dangerous moving fire bars that you'll have to drift around to make it alive. Once you're out of here, you'll be driving on the outside part of the castle, and a breath of fresh air is always nice. You'll soon be going back down using this set of stairs. Oh, and would you look at that, a giant Bowser statue spitting out fireballs. Now this is pretty original. Jump your way out of danger and the lap will be done. Now do it 2 more times if you're brave enough. In the skies above Mushroom City, a beautiful rainbow-colored track awaits those crazy enough to drive up there. Rainbow Road is up, and this track was a major improvement over the Nintendo 64 version, as it features so many cool things. First off, there's a lot of very sharp turns you need to make, and most of them do not have a single fence to protect you from falling down. Rainbow Road also contains lots of speed boost panels, so if you are looking to take this one slow and take your time and look at the sceneries, well, I've got some bad news for you. With all of those boost panels, you'll definitely need to be on edge and ready to move left and right to dodge obstacles and opponents. The road is often curved and will force you to drift carefully to avoid falling down to your doom. After this very dangerous section, with nothing that protects you from falling down, you'll reach the amazing rainbow cannon thingy of epicness, where you'll be shot up higher in the sky. Seriously, this racetrack is just insane and one of the most beautiful Rainbow Road tracks ever. Look at all those flying rainbow ornaments. A spiky shell, a bomb, a red shell, a Yoshi egg, a mushroom. Oh, this is so cool. This next track was one of my all-time favorites as a kid because it's an adventure in itself. DK Mountain is up, and this track starts off with you having to go up this mountain on those curvy dirt paths. Once you're on top, get in that big DK cannon and you'll go to land on yet another mountain. Actually, it's a volcano, but rest assured, it won't erupt like Grumble Volcano did in Mario Kart Wii. Now that you're on top of the world, you'll have to make your way down the volcano, eventually reaching the jungle area that contains very dangerous bottomless pits. It also features a shortcut for big brain players only over there. The ending is pretty simple, featuring a narrow wooden bridge you have to cross to get to the end. This bridge is also the birthplace of this amazing clip where Daisy gets wrecked over and over again by shells, players, and other hazards. Oh my gosh, poor Daisy. Can we get an F in the chat, please? Not so far from that big volcano we saw in DK Mountain lies Dino Jungle, a very scary jungle featuring a really big dinosaur ready to step on you like I stepped on that Lego brick last night. Ouch. This track contains wooden bridges you have to drive on, and those bridges have multiple paths you can take, so that's always neat. Once you get inside of the jungle temple cave, you'll be attacked by many water geysers that you'll have to avoid. You can also use a mushroom over there and jump above a pit to get a shortcut, which is kinda cool. Don't let your guard down once you leave the cave though, as this big dinosaur can still spell trouble. Go down the road, avoid more geysers to complete the lap. I have to admit that I wasn't expecting a Mario Kart track to feature a big dinosaur before I played that one, and I'm actually glad it does. Can we actually get Dino in more tracks, please? When I build my levels in Super Mario Maker 2, I always try to keep them simple. And there's a reason for that. Sometimes the simplest things are the best ones. And that's the case for Baby Park. I mean, take a look at this track. It is literally just an oval loop and takes around 10 seconds to complete. Like, there's literally nothing, that's all there is to it. Why is it so high on the list then, you might be asking yourself? Well, first off, this track requires 7 laps to be beat instead of 3. And with the track being so small, every time somebody throws a shell, it will bounce around the track over and over again until it hits someone. So that quickly becomes complete chaos. And isn't chaos the whole point of Mario Kart? Yes, yes it is. Get ready to get hit over and over again by shells, chain chomps, and everything that Mario Kart has to offer as you desperately try to finish in first place in all of that madness. This track is crazy, it's pure chaos, and I love it so much for that. My favorite track in Mario Kart Double Dash is none other than Wario Colosseum. This track is really crazy, featuring lots of metallic paths you have to drive onto while avoiding falling down to your doom. It is actually the longest track in Mario Kart Double Dash, so only 2 laps are required to beat this one. But to be honest, this track is so fun, I'd take even more. Wario's Colosseum features tons of sharp turns, a lot of jumps above pits, and eventually you'll make your way in the big circular cage, forcing you to drift in circles to move back down. It is kinda hard to describe this track actually, as it's literally just sharp turns and jumps, but placed in a way that makes it so fun and challenging. I think you actually have to play it for yourself to truly understand why it's so fun. I guess I could talk about the final part where you either go left or right, or if you're like me, well, you just use the boost panel to jump above this big pit. This track is really creative, a little bit crazy, but so much fun, and that's why it is my favorite in the game. Thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to subscribe and to hit the bell to know when I post a new video. Oh, and click that like button to help me out if you are, nice. Anyways, tap the cards on screen right now if you want to see more Mario Kart Top 10s, and I will see you in the next one.